Shonda Tate, who is an author, and she shamed her daughter publicly on Facebook for posting inappropriately. I don't know. Like, she made her hold up a sign saying...
The picture, I saw that.
So, yeah, the picture was like, I don't know how to behave on social media, so I've been restricted, and my mother, you know, made me hold up this sign. So,
okay, can I just say that I know for a fact that Mr. Quiet, John Elrod over there, is one of the few people I know, whenever things like this have happened in the past, and we've, you know, it goes viral and we're all talking about it, like the father who shot his daughter's laptop and all that. John is one of my, probably the only person I know on Facebook who does not agree with those types of tactics.
I don't like shame parenting. I don't like it. I don't think it works. I don't like it.
Okay.
Well, I think it works.
I don't like it.
Who thinks it works? Who thinks it works?
I think on a low level it works. I certainly know that I have 2 sons, and my 8-year-old is going through a thing now where everything I say he challenges me. You know, go get your jacket. I don't need a jacket. Well, can you put one on anyway? I don't have a jacket. Well, go get the blue one. That's not blue. You know, like, this is what we're going through. And I've told him, I'm not going to hold back from in public saying things to you like, shut your damn mouth and get your jacket. And he does not want his buddies to hear something like that. Would I take a gun to him? Probably not. But the public shaming thing, I have almost never used it. But the threat of using it is enough.
See, but I don't think that's the same thing as making your child, like, posting it on Facebook. Like, I know people
that's true. That's true.
Talk about their children misbehaving on Facebook, where they know that people who know this child are going to see it. Like, okay, the picture says, since I want to post photos of me holding liquor, I'm obviously not ready for social media and will be taking a hiatus until I learn what I should and should not post. Bye-bye, sad face. Now, I don't, to me, if I were the kid, I don't know what I'm learning from that except to hate my mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if my thought process is, fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm going to get back on social media. I'm going to find some other way to act out. Like, I don't know that the kid has learned a lesson except
I'm going to hide it from you. I'm going to hide it from you.
Because that was my thing growing up. It was always, and actually it's one of the columns that we have when VaginaCon.com goes live July 9th, is the no without consequences. And that was very much how I was as a kid. It was, you know, you could tell me no if you didn't tell me why. Well, sometimes even if you told me why, I just thought I knew better. And my thing was, even if I didn't know better, I wanted to do what was going to make me feel good, what was going to give me, you know, instant gratification, be it hanging out with my friends or going out with this boy. And then I was just going to try extra hard not to get caught. So, you know, and all the threats of, you know, because I'm from the era of parents coming up to school. I've seen classmates get their ass towed up in class because I'm from the era where you could do that. The teachers would call the mothers, and the moms would, and then because they had to take time off from work, you get your ass spanked in the classroom. Nobody called the cops. You know, that's just the way it was. So, yeah, but that threat of doing that, all it made me do was just try really hard not to get caught, or harder not to get caught.
I would correct my child in public, and I've said to both of them, if you act a fool in front of your friend, you're going to get corrected in front of your friend.
Right.
That's what they're asking for it, because they're acting out in public by themselves, so they're asking for it. But if you go out of your way to shame them, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
And I see that. That picture's going to be, you know, when she's grown, that picture's still going to be making the rounds. Like that.
No, I see your point, and I agree.
Yeah, I was just going to say, John, you actually kind of turned me around with it, because what I think I like about it, especially with the dad, I'm sorry, my refrigerator's making ice, so if you hear that. What I like about it is the points that he was making. You know, I thought he was making very good points. I thought that she deserved his anger and disappointment and some sort of punishment. But I agree. I see what you're saying. I wasn't separating the fact that because I agreed with his, you know, that he was right and she was wrong, then I just was like, okay, then it's okay to make a video and put it all over the internet and shoot her laptop. And yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a difference between, you know, how you go about doing the discipline and how you're shaming them, what you're going to achieve. Because you're right. In the end, it will probably make them, like Nenea said, just rebel harder.
I think the main difference, too, is you take it back 10, 20 years and say the daughter did something the dad didn't like and he whooped her ass. He didn't take her out in the middle of the street and say, hey, everybody watch, I'm whooping her ass.
Well, you see, and that's the big thing. That's the change, and it's a huge paradigm shift because now with Facebook, you've got potentially thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people who can wind up seeing this. And I don't think that the parents who are doing this really understand that that's what's happening.
Yeah.
I think that they're just like the politicians who wind up doing tweets that they think are private that wind up going out to tens of thousands of people.
Right.
And they honestly don't understand that what they're doing is they're exposing their children to worldwide ridicule.
And once it's on the internet, it exists forever.
So
Internet is forever.
That's what the next.
Up to millions of people that are going to find something wrong with what you're doing.
The next generation is going to remember this. That's what we were asking earlier, what they're going to remember, and that's what they're going to remember.
Yeah. But that's pervasive anyway, don't you think? Because we had an incident in my little New Hampshire town a bit back where, you know, all the kids in middle schools armed with cameras, cell phones. And, you know, have we all gone through bullying in some form or another in middle school? I would say most of us, if not all of us, have. But now with the camera, cell phones, there was a young girl, an overweight girl, shy girl, and they took pictures of her and put them up on Facebook in her underwear, in the gym room, you know. And do I think these kids need to be imprisoned? Because there was talk about how it's child pornography, technically, to do that. But more, it's just they don't think long-term about what this is going to be because they're, again, maybe they're young and stupid, like we were talking about earlier. But the public humiliation this girl went through is so different than the public humiliation we all went through in grade school. You know, we got picked on. Maybe a bunch of people in the gym room saw it, but it wasn't, like you said, viral.
Well, and there have been suicides.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
suicide because of things that have happened online.
Yeah.
And I, you know, a parent who caused the suicide of their child by posting something like this, a public shaming, there's no way back.
No, you're right.
Yeah, I think it's much farther reaching than people know. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, I think it was a year ago or several months ago, there was a mother, again in Florida, whose son such a low GPA that she made a billboard for him to wear, and she had him stand at a really busy intersection on a highway saying, "Honk if you think I need education." My GPA is like, I don't know, 1.7 or whatever it was. And she made this, I think he was 16 years old. It was a big kid, and he's standing out there like with his head down. And the story hit the wires, and I remember people on my Facebook feed like applauding this mom, like, yeah, that's what kids today need. And I'm like, are you kidding? If I was that kid, I would go home and fail every fucking class. Because if that's how you're going to treat me, why should I go study harder? Really?
And that's how kids are. They won't think about, oh, I shouldn't fail. They'll just say, I'm going to fail, and then they won't realize the consequences of it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because kids' nature is to rebel, so... You know, I don't know. I just don't think it's an effective policy. Last item is that this week, to everyone's shock, and that's sarcastic, Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, came out as gay. And
I haven't been this shocked since George Michael came out.
Right.
I was actually shocked when George Michael came out.
Of the bathroom?
How were you affected when Boy George came out?
I'll tumble for you. I'll tumble for you.
I was totally in love with Boy George in the 80s. I had like 365 pictures of him all over my bedroom.
Yeah.
It was George a day.
I have one for every day. What?
Did you know he was gay?
Yeah.
All the time?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
I honestly was shocked by George Michael, and I remember when he went solo and he had I Want Your Sex and Careless Whisper. Like, that was like the best album ever. And to show you how old I am, that was like, Careless Whisper was like the song I danced to with some boy at my junior high school prom, and I was like so happy because he was so handsome. He didn't know who the fuck I was, but anyway. But I remember in that I Want Your Sex video, there's like an Asian girl with him in the video, and I remember them interviewing him on MTV, and he was talking about that was his girlfriend. And he was saying the whole thing was about monogamy, remember? And that's when I learned what monogamy meant. And so I just thought he was straight. That's what I remember. Then when he came out and I started going further back and I saw them little shorts.
Yeah, Wake Me Up Before You Go was a
yeah, right. When I looked back and I saw this, I was like, oh, how did I not know that?
No, that's like watching a Frankie Goes to Hollywood video and just going, what a bunch of fine, strapping young men.
In their tank tops, yeah. That was hot.
So anyway, Jim Parsons. Was anybody surprised?
Well, this article in the HuffPo is about that there's the decline of the mega outings. Like, by the time celebrities come out, we kind of know. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because of the discussion that I have seen on Facebook where, you know, a lot of people, and maybe they're sincere, but to me it struck me as politically correct, saying, well, I don't really think about somebody's sexual orientation. You know, when I think about them, I'm thinking, okay, well, I only think about it if I think they're hot. But like, come on, don't we all think about it? Like, I'm not forming my opinion of somebody based on that one thing, but I think you're lying if you say you don't think about it at all.
What?
It's not even thinking about it. I mean, Nenea, you and I said the same thing. It's not even about thinking about it. It's like these people that are trying to pretend like they don't notice it. It's if you notice it, that noticing it doesn't make you politically incorrect. You're human. You notice things. Like we said, it's the same thing as saying I don't see skin color. Yes, you do. You do. If there's five white people, if there's 5 white girls and 1 black girl standing there, and you're not going to describe the black girl, as the one that's wearing the pink shirt. No, it's notice.
I've been
it's not going to make you a horrible person.
I got called on that in college for describing someone as African American, and people were all up in my face.
You can say black.
Describe it like that, and I was like, I'm sorry,
I got chastised when I first went to college, and this may show how old I am, but I was still referring to myself as Oriental, and because in Hawaii that's what we all called each other, and like we're not offended by it. I'm like, yeah, I'm Oriental. And then I got to California and met what I call the Crusading Asians, and they're like, we do not call ourselves Oriental. Do we call it Occidentals? No.
My grandmother actually corrected me on that. I called somebody Oriental years and years ago, and she was like, rugs are Oriental. I was like, oh shit, sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't even know she cared about Asians that much.